Now it has actually started. Good one there that we have IFL back. At least the footballers from these universities will be able to play their games. Good one there. Now we also talk about the Nigerian National League. Matches will be coming up in the league the result that was played and all the matches played across Nigeria in the Nigerian National League, the second tier of Nigerian football. And we just have to look at all the results as it went down across different stadia in Nigeria. Not forgetting the NOC, the president, Abu Gumel, urging Team Nigeria to make sure they compete clean in the competition that will be coming up in Birmingham. That is Commonwealth Games, and they want to make sure Nigeria actually compete clean. He's actually telling them to make sure they compete clean. Well, still talking about that, we move straight to talk about MPFL also, where Lobby Stars were able to defeat Niger Tornadoes in their own game. Most of this will be coming up, and also LMC well moves to ensure a perfect finish of the MPFL for 2021-2022 as it's winding up, and they want to make sure it ends well. Well, most of this story will be coming up right now as we start again from the beginning. Federal government actually turning things around again by allowing basketball to come back to the mainframe of Nigerian sport. It was from just like a month now, the story came out, and now, well, little by little, they actually turned things around, and that particular statement has been made this morning that international basketball is back. Well, we are happy that the Tigress will be able to make it to the World Cup if FIBA, at least let's see what FIBA will be doing, because right now Mali was informed that they will be the ones to represent Africa. But from the way it is, now that federal government has actually turned things around, we hope that things will go well as we actually hope for. Well, good one, the Tigress. So sure that the ladies especially will be so happy for this particular decision that has been turned around. Well, while that particular event took place, let's listen to what the permanent secretary of the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports said concerning the turning around of that particular decision by federal government.
1. Intervention by concerned stakeholders, former Nigerian international basketball players, as well as meaningful Nigerians to seek for resolutions to the issues that triggered the decision. 2. A video conference meeting between the top hierarchy of FIBA and the Minister of Youth and Sports, which produced common understanding in certain general areas, concluding with a commitment by both FIBA and Nigeria to explore and collaborate on enhancing relationship, development of basketball, and reaffirming mutual respect for the laws and constitution of Nigeria as a sovereign state, and also FIBA. 3. A letter of appeal from the MBBF board signed by Engineer Musa Kida and dated June 17, 2022, addressed to the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Chimson Bildari. The letter of appeal, among other things, apologized to Mr. President and the Minister over the embarrassment, the development around basketball, and the conduct of some stakeholders has brought upon Nigeria. The letter appeals to the Minister to use his good offices to approach Mr. President for the reversal of the 2-year withdrawal of Nigeria from international basketball competitions. The appeal letter also critically gave some key undertakings to immediately set in motion the process of status review or constitutional amendments from stakeholders as collated by the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development to set up a high-powered team to reconcile all contending parties in the basketball family at home and abroad, as collated by the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development to set up a high-powered team to reconcile all contending parties in the basketball family at home and abroad, and the commitment to work with the ministry in the governance and development of basketball, among other things. Above all, the compliance of NBBF have issues at stake made this possible.
A good one from federal government there. At least finally, our basketball is back to the mainframe. We hope that things will just go well from now on. For the fact that Musa Keda demoted the MBBF to apologize, and also for the fact that we have to move on from all these crises that have rocked our basketball. We hope things will get better after this particular breaking news. Nazir Jamajo, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Okay, good one. Looking at the fact that JOSA in the federal government recently the decision to return basketball to international duties. At least a lot of Nigerians are happy with this news now that the Tigers, looking at what they did, hopefully if we can still make it to the World Cup, that would be a very good thing. What do you think?
Yeah, it will be a very good thing. Let me be a bit biased right here, looking at the situation of the basketball ticket. Let me just say the ticket is ours. We earned it. Our sweat ended for us. So let us just have our ticket back. That is the only thing I'm asking for at the moment. Let's just have our ticket back. Although we cost ourselves the sport because the federal government went to the conclusion that basketball is going to be shut down for the next 2 years, and there were speculations that the also the African basketball headquarters will also ban the Nigeria Basketball Federation for another year, and making it 3 years. And we are also on the verge of losing so many slots in the tournaments because we have good basketball players. I think with all the crisis that is happening since 2017, the D Tigers and the Tigers have performed very, very well. And also the D Tigers, the last tournament that they played, talking of the Africa tournament, they won it convincingly without the support of the federation. So it is a good one right there. I think if the ban had gone for the next 2 years, it would be a very big blow for Nigeria basketball right there in the country. But I think right now that the basketball situation has been resolved, I think it is a very good one. We are all happy for the basketball, speaking of the Tigers and the Tigers, and also some other people that are dreaming for playing for these basketball teams right here in this country. You know, sometimes when you go and play these World Cup tournaments, that is when some players will get their chance to advance their career and go and play for the big teams in the world of basketball. It is a very good one. I can't remember, it is this week that we talked about the Mark the Ball tournament that was played, talking of the basketball team. So without these tournaments, the World Cup, we cannot take our players right there to the world stage and market them. I think it is a very good one. Even if we miss this year, the next World Cup that is going to come, talking of the basketball, definitely our players will be there and they'll perform. That is the only thing. The Tigers and the Tigers, two fantastic basketball teams.
It's painful that the fact that looking at what happened concerning Nigerian basketball, because why now? Let's not go back to all the issues because a lot of people will be asking questions. Why is it now that the apology is actually coming and all this? But well, the deed has been done. Let's just move on and see how we can save that sport that a lot of Nigerians love so much, the dunk and slam sport, if not the best, second best in Nigeria. After football, basketball seems to be the next thing that a lot of people look up to at least triumph, rather thrive in Nigerian sport. But right now, well, it's back, and we hope that things will go well, especially looking at the Tigers. I'm a little bit concerned because of the fact that as we speak, Mali have been informed that they will be the one to represent Africa. And now that we are back to international competitions, I'm looking at what will happen with FIBA be able to turn things around and say, okay, well, after all, you were the one that qualified originally. We'll still take you back as the country that will be representing, going back and forth.
Yes, I hope it. Yeah, I hope it goes like that. I hope it goes like that. I just hope the FIBA will say that it is our ticket. It is the Nigerians that earn the ticket. But I think it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult because the Malians have already been informed that they are the ones that will represent Africa in this tournament. So definitely, I don't really see it happening. I don't really see it happening because they have already decided. Now, if that, let's look at it this way: if the draws of the basketball World Cup tournament has already been made, will Nigeria get their slot back? They will not. It's very clear they will not. So I think it's going to be difficult for Biba to say that yes, Nigeria come and participate in this tournament. The decision has already been made, and I think the Federation right here in Nigeria and also the federal government didn't sit down and look at it in a different way. They should have solved the situation. Playing in the World Cup, it is a very big chance for our players and for the country also to fly the flag of Nigeria in world tournaments like this, talking of the basketball, second biggest sport in this country. It is going to be an important one. all the time, but they actually, don't look at it that way. They just look at it the way they want it. And although the crisis has took long, I think since 2017, the crisis of the leadership has been going and going and going. So maybe they thought doing it this way will definitely bring a solution to everything. But right now, they have come to the conclusion that that is not the way out. The way out is for us to continue playing in these big tournaments. It's going to be difficult for FIBA to decide, I think, to say that Nigeria should come back and play. They have already decided, and I think it's over.
Well, we hope, let's still believe that maybe miracle can still happen from FIBA. But from the way it is, it's at least a good one that this particular decision has been turned around. And we hope that all the factions will actually sheathe their sword and let this sport grow in Nigeria. From the way it is, New Leaf is actually growing in basketball sector. Now, let's talk about, not even forgetting about football, because we're looking at what is actually happening in football also. Jamarajo, you agree with me, there's another crisis there, and if it's not NIP right now, it's going to turn to another thing because of the issue of elongation of tenure, not allowing elections to come out. Though by today, we are waiting for the Congress members to actually withdraw the suit that was filed in Bayelsa concerning that ex parte injunction against the Congress to be held. Well, from the way it is, NFF, another crisis looming there, and we just saw that to be need, like I said earlier, although the Ministry of Sport are actually doing their best to make sure everything goes well, trying to talk to the congressmen, agreeing that, yes, we want to make sure we strike out this particular lawsuit and make sure Nigerian football gets better. To follow due process, Congress must hold, election must hold in September. From the news we are hearing that, well, the NFF Executive Committee are doing their own part by making sure they to talk to FIFA to get the nomination committee to give them elongation of tenure, but which would not go well with Nigerians. From the way it is, another crisis in NFF. If not NIP right now, that would be a big one.
Yeah, it will be a big one. It will be a big one. I think we will not, in this country, we'll never accept the, FIFA denying us playing, talking of the World Cup, the big tournaments, the Africa Cup of Nations, all of that. So for us not to go to that angle, not to start talking about things like that, let's just, bring solution to everything. I think at this point in time, the Minister for Youth and Sports Development, Mr. Sunday Dare, has to, be blamed at some point in time. At this point in time, when you look at it, the way he's been handling sporting things in this country, the basketball, we've seen what happened. The Nigerians, they're talking of the federal government, said that we are banned for 2 years, and also now he's coming to the footballing situation. It's like he wants to be in full control of everything sports in this country. He was not a fan of Jose Pizarro. He got Gennett sacked. He didn't approve the appointment of Jose Pizarro. We had those speculations, and that is why he's thinking that right now is his own chance to go and have a say when it comes to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Definitely, the Sunday Daddy has to take the blame for all of that is happening at the moment. The situation is just as simple as it is. Bring those people that are bringing the problems together, sit down and discuss these problems. The solution is there. You don't have to go this far to go to the court and maybe FIFA interfering and coming in and banning the Super Eagles of Nigeria from playing football. This is the biggest sport that we actually market our players in, so we don't have to play with it. I don't think we have to play with such kind of sports at this point in time. Let the minister bring those people together, sit down on the table, discuss, bring solution to everything, and don't let him stop thinking like he needs to be in full control of everything. It doesn't work that way.
Okay, now what about the NFF Executive Committee that are trying to make sure elections doesn't hold?
That is another problem. They also have to take a blame at this point in time. Sometimes these things have been planned. You have to sit down and go through everything. The election must hold September. Election must hold. And there are speculations that I saw talking about Amaju Pinnick trying his best to make sure that he stays with the NFF until 2023, which is absolutely not the way. When he came in, who did that to him? Amini Megari gave way, I think, and then he came in, had his election. This is 8 years that we are talking about Mr. Amaju Mervin Pinnick being in charge of the NFF Secretariat right there, being the president of Nigeria Football Federation, and we have nothing to show for that. It's just in the last couple of days that the youth teams are beginning to perform, talking of the men's and the women's, the under 17 and the under 20, they are beginning to perform. The Super Eagles of Nigeria, we have nothing to show. We lost a World Cup ticket on the him, and also, so many things happen on the him. It's high time he needs to go. We need fresh air. We need the breath of fresh air in the NFF. Somebody who is coming in to bring a change. Somebody who wants the Super Eagles of Nigeria to win. Although we have seen the appointment of Jose Peseiro, so far there are glimpses that we can actually take. Although it is just 3 or 4 games, if I'm mistaken, but we have seen a bit of progress for the first time in this series. The Super Eagles winning by 10 goals to nil. A big win right there for them. And also looking at the system that he has brought into the Super Eagles of Nigeria, modern ones. The style that so many teams are playing in Europe. So I think we don't need to waste time on such kind of things. These are situations that we don't need to play with. Talking of the football, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, the Flamingos, the Falconets, all of them, we don't have to play with football in situations. We don't want any ban. Let them come together, bring solutions to those situations, hold the election, and we move on.
Okay, well, see, looking at the fact that from the body language of what is happening right now, well, the congressmen, they want the Congress to hold, the members rather, they want to see how this election will actually hold. And today, as we speak, I'm very sure that we'll be hearing good news from Bayelsa, where that court injunction will be actually strike out, and hopefully that Congress must hold. The issue of normalization committee will not come up because news came that they are trying to make sure they get FIFA normalization committee, which will not go well. It means there won't be election next by September. I still don't understand. Yes. After spending 8 years, why are you still insisting? You can contest legally according to what you said, but why are you trying to shift or change the elongation of the tenure of your term? Well, more of that will be coming up in a subsequent production. But right now, let's move away from basketball, at least the good news from basketball, and also we hope that the same thing will happen to our football and other sport. A lot of issues here and there, but Nigerian sport is actually bigger than any individual. Now let's move away. Let's talk about, earlier on we talked about higher institution football league where BUK Stallions, University of Lagos Marines, they were able to win their games in this year's edition. Let's look at some of these results as we talk about the IFL. IFL is the institution that has to do with federal, all the Nigerian universities, and we have Unilag defeating Afewa Balola University 3-1. LASU play 1-0 against University of Ibadan. That is a good one for UI. At least they were able to get the draw away. And you have 4-8-1 and the OOU 2. That is Olabusi. That's the University in Agoewe. University of Port Harcourt also 1-1 against IAU. Unijaws, they lost against BUK Stallion. Bayero University of Kano. Ibrahim Babangida University Lapai drew goalless against University of Agriculture Makurdi. Delta State University, it was a good one. They wallop Fupre. That's 7-2. You have University of Osun, they lost against Ekiti State University. Those results coming from the zonal qualifiers. Still talking about the result now. Let's look at other teams that play in this competition. We're talking about Nigerian universities now, higher institution football league, as the result is actually going around. Well, still looking at the fact that, Unilag 3-0. Good one for all the universities that play in this as a walkover for University of Lagos in their first game. Higher institution football league there. And now we look at the Nigerian National League, NNL. NNL, some matches were playing in the midweek. Let's look at those results quickly as we talk about the second tier of Nigerian Football League. Well, Jamajo, if you are still there, let's talk about Nigerian National League, NNL, where games were actually played during the week in some centers across Nigeria. Starting from the result in Group A1, Sokoto United, it peeved CTFC of Abuja by a lone goal there. Good one for Sokoto United as they were able to win and transferring that to Group A2. You look at other results. For CTFC of Abuja, Sokoto United were able to do well there, defeating them by a lone goal in Sokoto. Jamajo.
Point in time, when you look at it, that we are approaching the business end of the season, it's a difficult one for teams to put in performances right now because the fatigue is there. They have played so many games. We're approaching the business end, so things get hard at this point in time. City of Abuja have been performing. I think they are second in their group right now, and also Sokoto United are ahead of them. So I think it is a good one for Sokoto United, looking at the fact that they are still pushing to finish on top of this group and maybe secure their ticket to the NPFL next season. A good one for them.
Good one there. Now let's quickly move straight to look at B1 table. Now the Group B1 matches were also playing the midweek quickly, where Ikorodu United walloped Osun United 4-0, Vandresa 0-0 against Abeokuta Stormers, Giant Brillas 2, Adoration FC 1, Campos FC, they lost at home against J Atete in their own midweek matches, match rather that was played. Good one for Ikorodu City, who were able to score 1, 2, 3, 4 goals against Osho United there. And now in Group B2, Ijebu United 2, Inewe United 1. Sporting Lagos 1-0 draw against Warri Wolves. Otasolo FC 1-0 draw against FC1 Rocket. While Go Round FC went round, they defeated Apex Crane 2-1. Rovers FC 3, Abia Commerce 2. Bayelsa United, they went on rampage as they defeated Crown FC of Ogbomoso 5-1 in their own game. Well, good one for Bayelsa United. They are showing their class, a defending champion of ITO Cup, and now they defeated Crown FC 5-1 there. Nazuru, you see that Bayelsa United are also sending signals to all the teams that are ready for this year's ITO Cup, that they are still there showing their strength.
Yeah, definitely. I actually, whenever I see Bayelsa United, I get to remember what they did actually in the last couple of years when they won the ATO Cup and also played in the continental tournament. I think, if I'm mistaken, they played right there. Whenever I see their name, I get to actually remember what happened in the last couple of years. So a big win right there for them yesterday. I was expecting that when you look at it, you will not be surprised when you see a club like Bayelsa United. Whenever you hear Bayelsa United, it rings bells in the Nigeria football all over the place.
Good one there. We just hope that better football continues to come in Nigeria. As we move away from NNL now, let's talk about a team of Nigeria that will be going for the Commonwealth Games. Well, the president of Nigeria Olympic Committee, that's NOC, Habu Gumel, right now urged the entire team Nigeria to make sure they compete clean as they go for Commonwealth Games, because they will not want what happened at the Olympics to happen. Issue of a sample of tests carried out or this or that concerning testing positive to banned substances will not be allowed. So all the Nigerian athletes, they call them Team Nigeria, they should make sure they compete clean, follow the rules and regulations of the game of athletics. Make sure you watch what you eat, make sure you watch what you eat. In fact, even the soap you are using to take your bath, you should be very careful. Well, coming from NOC, because we don't want that particular repeat of ban to affect our athletes by the time they get to the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham City. I think this is a good, at least this is a good call from NOC president to Team Nigeria. Jamajo.
Well, a very positive one, I think, looking at the fact that we had disappointment when it comes to the athletics the last time they were out in action. It was very disappointing looking at the fact that so many athletes got disqualified because of the issue of doping. So I just hope also they go there and participate cleanly. That is the first step of discipline. Participate cleanly, and then we get to see what we can do in the athletics section right there. I think Nigerians most of the time do perform in such kind of sports. So I just hope that this time around it turns out to be a positive one for Nigeria completely.
Okay, good one. Now, the last one on the log is the fact that Newcastle United, Newcastle wants Awoniyi despite the fact that he's so close to join Nottingham Forest for £17.5 million. So from the way it is, that deal could be hijacked, although that's the news. But the young man has already said bye-bye to his former team, talking about, or rather, his team is still with Union Berlin. But from the news filtering in, Awoniyi could be moving to Nottingham. But Newcastle are ready to make a move for this Nigerian.
Yeah, I think Newcastle United, after the takeover they had in January, I think they have the money on ground to chase every player that they want. Every player that Eddie Howe wants at Newcastle United, definitely they fancy their chances of going to get him. But I think it is a positive one from Tayo Owoni's perspective when you look at it. Two Premier League clubs, trying their best to make sure that they get him signed up. I think it is a positive one for him. Whichever club he chooses, he will definitely go and play in the English Premier League next season, and we get to see one of our strikers participating right there. And he also increases his chances in playing for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. When you look at the people he's competing with, Victor Osimhen playing for a big club like Napoli in the Italian Serie A, Sadiq Kumar also playing for Almeria, which I think has performed very, very well. So with him also joining one of Newcastle United or Nottingham Forest will be a very good one for him. And we get to see more of him in the English Premier League.
Okay, hopefully we'll see more of him in the English Premier League. But well, a lot of people are looking at why don't still stay with Union Berlin and play Europa? Well, it knows
no. The brand, the brand. When you look at the brand, when you look at the brand, you cannot compare the English Premier League and the German Bundesliga. When he goes to the Premier League, we get to see him more. So many people, even if you don't get to watch Nottingham Forest or Newcastle United play on a normal day, when they play against one of the big clubs, you definitely get to watch him, and we get to see what he can do over there. That is when we get to judge him that he can perform in big games or not.
Okay, that will be a good one there. Well, hopefully, Awuni will enjoy his football time if he moves to Nottingham Forest or Newcastle United, as they are hoping to hijack that particular deal. That will be it on 360 Sport. Najib Jamajo, thank you from Kaduna there. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good one. Well, it has been a wonderful time on 360 Sport. Good to have the fact that we are back to international football again. I am Adeniyi Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.